As a first firewall, we are going to start with FortiGate. And after completion of FortiGate, in your batch, we'll start with Palo Alto in this timing. Okay, as a second firewall. Third, we'll go with the Checkpoint. Fourth, Cisco ASA, and fifth, Cisco FTD. Okay, so for 8:30 to 9:30 batch, this schedule, this is the flow of your training program. Okay, first we'll start with the FortiGate. Okay, so as I mentioned in this 5 on firewall mastery program, we are going to cover these 5 firewalls, not only 5 firewall products, along with 5 firewall products plus 2 management product you are going to learn. So in Palo Alto firewall plus Panorama. Okay, and Cisco FTD firewall plus FMC, which is these FMC and Panorama, these two devices are centralized management devices. So where you can, if you have in your production network, you have 100 Palo Alto firewalls. All this 100 Palo Alto firewalls, you want to manage. Okay, you want to manage under one group and under one device. Okay, so in that case, you need a device called Panorama where you can able to manage all these 100 firewalls. So which is located in a different branches, different geography location. So from your Panorama, you can able to manage all firewalls under one roof. Okay, the same way, the same process, same activity, you can able to do it for the Cisco Firepower devices. So FTD firewall, Firepower Threat Defense. This is the firewall name. Okay. So for this FTD firewall plus NGIPS, it's a Firepower next generation intrusion prevention system dedicated device for the IPS activities. Okay. So these two devices you can able to manage by the help of FMC device, which is just like a Panorama. It's a centralized management device where you can manage multiple firepower devices under one roof. Okay. So these two devices also you are going to learn in this 5-in-1 firewall mastery program, guys. Okay. So what are the 5 firewalls? So one is, as I mentioned, first you are going to learn FortiGate firewall. So in this FortiGate firewall, you are going to learn full firewalls, product based. It's not only the certification based training, it's a product based training as well. So you are going to learn full FortiGate firewall here. Okay. So FortiGate firewall and whatever the security firewall security concept is there in a FortiGate, everything you will learn here in this FortiGate firewall. Okay, so after FortiGate firewall, as I mentioned, Palo Alto. Okay, and Palo Alto, there are I'll come back to the certification in FortiGate later. Okay, because we are going to this batch is going to start with the FortiGate first. So we'll discuss deeper about the FortiGate curriculum. So I'll come back later on the FortiGate curriculum right now. Okay, so I'll go with the other firewalls now. As I mentioned in Palo Alto, there are two type of certification, guys. Okay, so it's not only the product as well as certification based training also. Okay, so in Palo Alto, you are going to learn up to basics to from the scratch. As a beginner, you have a knowledge of networking, CCNA or network fundamental like CompTIA networking plus, right? So or CCNA level of training. No need to be a certified person. Okay, if you have a knowledge of that networks, basics of networking or networking concepts, and if you have a CCNA knowledge, that is fair enough. If you don't have a CCNA knowledge, at least you must have a knowledge of CompTIA N plus fundamentals of networking and networking concepts. Have a knowledge to be a certified person, but you should have a knowledge of particular curriculum. Okay, so only prerequisites to learn any next generation firewall. You don't need to become a master or any of the firewall. Okay, so to learn a Palo Alto, you don't need to become a have a knowledge of Palo Alto, basic knowledge of Palo Alto. Okay, so you no need. We are going to start from the scratch. All the firewall which we are going to cover in this 5-in-1 firewall mastery program, Everything will be start from the beginner level to advanced level. So you no need to worry about it. Only thing is you must have a knowledge of networking fundamentals. So you must understand what is OSI layer, what is IP protocol, what is port number, what is TCP, how it is working, what is OSI layer is working, right? So what is the port number, why we are the blocking this port number, what is the services, why we need to block that services. So these kind of things you need to know. What is port number, what is protocol number, what is IP, subnet mask, right? So basic fundamental things about networking you must have a knowledge, guys. If you know, then you're fair enough to learn any next generation firewall. So don't get any confusions, don't hesitate. So I don't have a basic knowledge of firewall, so how can I learn? Okay, because this course is going to start from the scratch, so you no need to worry about it. Okay, so from the basics. So this is the administrative level. So where you are going to learn how to manage your Palo Alto firewall, to manage the day-to-day activities, how to create a policy, objects and services, okay, and how to deploy. What are the type of deployment options we have in a Palo Alto? That and all you are going to learn in Palo Alto PCNSA level training. So this is beginner to intermediate level. Okay, so PCNSA, Palo Alto Certified Network Security Administrator. Okay. And then what is next level of certification is PCNSA, guys. Okay. So we'll cover all PCNSA, PCNSA, NSE as well. Okay. So Palo Alto Certified Network Security Expert level certification program. So where you are going to learn to manage your Palo Alto firewall, not only to achieve the day-to-day activities like deploying, configuring the policy and objects, right? And you are going to manage your Palo Alto firewall in advanced level like troubleshooting and advanced management with a panorama. Okay, so that and all you are going to learn. Okay, so if you want to become a PCNSA certification as per the Palo Alto curriculum, if you want to become a PCNSA certification, you need a PCNSA certification or you need a PCNSE. There is no any prerequisites. You can directly go for a PCNSE certification examination if you have a knowledge of Palo Alto firewall. Okay, so you don't need to come first. You don't need to go for a PCNSA and then you have to come for the PCNSE certification. It's not like that. If you have a knowledge of Palo Alto firewall along with Panorama, right, you are eligible to write PCNSE certification, guys. So as per the Palo Alto curriculum, there are three type of training program. So if you want to go for a Palo Alto training in a Palo Alto itself, right? So the vendor they will follow the three type of curriculum. That is EDU 210. First paper is the EDU 210, and second paper is EDU 220, and third paper is called EDU 330. So EDU 210, it's purely talk about Palo Alto firewall. So if I mention here PA, that is Palo Alto firewall, guys. Okay. And EDU 210, it's talk about panorama. Purely it's talk about panorama. EDU 330, it's talk about the troubleshooting. Okay. So if you want to get certification on PCNSA administrative level, then this paper is enough. EDU 210, you need to get a training with EDU 210 paper. If you want to go for PCNSC, then additionally EDU 210 plus EDU 220 plus EDU 330. These two papers you should complete. You should have a knowledge of these two papers. So our curriculum, which is in Palo Alto, with all these three papers are included: EDU 210, EDU 220, and EDU 330. Okay, so troubleshooting and then panorama and Palo Alto firewall. All those three papers are covered as per our curriculum. So after completion of Palo Alto training program, you are eligible to write PCNSE certification. After completion of training, you should have a hands-on. You need to do your practices. So once the practices are completed, you are eligible to write directly on the PCNSE certification. Okay. The exam cost for this PCNSA or PCNSE 180 USD plus tax based on your country norms. Okay. And the certification validity is 2 years. So after that, either you have to do recertification or you need to upgrade your certification with any other products in Palo Alto. Okay. So right. So this is the curriculum we are going to cover under Paloalto and checkpoint. So there are in checkpoint, it's similar to Paloalto. There are two type of certification. Okay, so you must, but it's not like a Paloalto. You cannot directly go to this expert level certification. So there are two type, as I mentioned, there are two type of certification. One is CCSA, checkpoint certified security associate, and checkpoint certified certified security administrator, and checkpoint certified security expert. Okay, so these are the two type of certification, but here there is a prerequisites. If you want to go for a CCSC certification, first you must complete CCSA administrative level certification. You must complete, then only you can go for the expert level certification. Okay. To go for a CCSA certification, there is no prerequisites. You should have a knowledge of Gaia operating, which means the checkpoint, okay, and checkpoint firewall, and the basic. To learn this checkpoint firewall, as I mentioned, basic fundamental networking knowledge, CCNA level or CompTIA N plus level of knowledge you must have. Okay, then only you can easily understand this checkpoint firewall. Okay, so you not only checkpoint firewall, entire entire firewall products in this fine firewall mastery program. Okay, so the certification cost for the CCSA and CCSE, each certification you should pay 300 USD, guys. Okay. You should pay 300 USD for each certification. So first you must complete CCSA, then only you can go for a CCSE. Okay. So validity for the certification is again 2 years. Okay. So after 2 years, you have to upgrade your certification CCSE. Okay, to remain your certification is valid. Okay, so this is the and our curriculum which both CCSA and CCSE both we are covering in this checkpoint. Okay, so entire checkpoint firewall you're going to learn from basics to advanced level. Okay, so after that we are going to cover Cisco ASA and FTD. Okay. So Cisco ASA and FTD, there is no specific certification program only for the Cisco ASA and Cisco FTD. Okay. So because this is a different certification approach which comes under the Cisco, these ASA and FTD is the Cisco products. Okay. So if you're already in the track of Cisco certification, if you have a knowledge of CCA, you might aware about the Cisco certification track. So this is Cisco certification track in security domain. Okay, so these product Cisco ASA, Cisco FTD, Cisco FMC. So the these three products comes under the CCNP, part of CCNP security certification, and CCIE security lab security certification. Okay, so it's part of CCNP certification. It doesn't mean after completion of these three products you are able to write, you will get the certification in a CCNP security or CCIE lab. You can go, not like that. You are going to learn another almost 11 plus products you are going to learn. You need to learn if you want to get certification on CCIE lab. Okay, security lab. Okay, so in that we are going to learn three products here. Okay, so one is Cisco ASA, another one is Cisco FTD, and then last one is Cisco FMC. These three products. If you are suppose already in a CCNP or CCIE certification track, you must complete a you must complete a certification called core certification called SCORE, Cisco Security Core Examination. So if you are already a score examination, you are written. This is a written examination. If you are already completed a score certification, written examination, and you want to become a CCNP certified engineer, security certified engineer, right? CCNP security certified engineer, then by having knowledge of these three products, Cisco ASA, Cisco FTD, and Cisco FMC, you need to become a CCNP certified engineer. You need to write a core examination, and it's not enough. You need to complete one elective examination, elective paper. So in that, one of the elective paper is next generation firewall specialist, NGFWS, next generation firewall specialist certification. Okay, so one of the elective paper. So in that elective paper, you are going to learn all these three products: ASA, FTD, FMC. So if you're already certified, you're in a CCNP security certification track, you have a SCORE certification, and you want to become a CCNP certified engineer, then you can select your, after learning these three products, then you can select your elective paper in the next generation firewall specialist paper. And if you after written this examination, it's a written examination, okay, so you will become a CCNP security certified engineer, guys. Okay, clear. So we are covering the part of CC in a Cisco AS and Cisco FTD. We are covering part of CCNP security certification. These three elective papers we will cover, guys. Okay, so I mean this elective paper con, con this selective paper comes with these three products: ASA and FTD and FMC. So you, if you're already completed a SCORE certification, you can able to go for a next generation firewall specialist certification. Then you will become a CCNP certified engineer. Okay. So there is no specific certification for product wise in a Cisco. Okay, because they are following different certification approach. But Palo Alto, they are having a certification in a product wise. Okay, and Checkpoint, they're having a certification in a product wise. And FortiGate, lastly, we will come to the FortiGate. FortiGate, previously, they are having a certification in a product wise. Okay, and if you want to become a NSC4 certified, one of the certification, if you learn if you have a knowledge of FortiGate firewall, okay, you can able to write the examination called NSC4, Network Security Expert, Expert Level 4. That is a professional level certification. Okay, so that is called NSC4. Previously, it is known as NSC4. If you want to go for a NSC4 certification, you must have a knowledge of FortiGate firewall. It's enough. No need any other Fortinet product knowledge to get a NSC4 certification. Okay, so now from last year onwards, they have changed the certification track in FortiGate as well. They are following similar to Cisco certification track. Okay. So if you want to become, if you want to get certification in Fortinet environment, FortiGate, okay, you must complete the core examination. So right now, core examination in a different domain they have. Okay. So one of the domain is called network security. So under network security, okay, one of the core examination is called FortiGate administration. So where you're going to or so the certification is now the NSC4 is now it is known as FCP, Fortinet Certified Professional. The certification name is called Fortinet Certified Professional. To get this certification, you must complete one core examination. Okay, so that core examination contains fully FortiGate firewall. You should have a knowledge of FortiGate firewall to go for a core examination in FCP certification. FCP core. That certification is called FCP core in network security. Okay, FCP core in network security. So first you need to write it's a written examination. You need to write examination on the FortiGate firewall. Okay, you are going to learn in this FCP core certification, you are going to learn FortiGate firewall. Fully, you are going to learn FortiGate firewall. Okay. So additionally, you want after written exam, after completion of written examination in a FortiGate firewall, in a core examination, you're not considered as a FCP certified professional. You're just certified of FCP core exam, network security core examination. So then if you want to become a FCP certified engineer, you need to select the elective papers. You need to write an examination on 2 elective papers where you are going to learn other products called Forti Manager, Forti Analyzer, and then Forti SD-WAN, right? Like that, different kind of certification, the elective papers we have. So in that, you need to choose two elective papers. Okay, any of the two elective papers, either 40 manager or 40 analyzer. So you must have a knowledge of after. If you want to focus your career in a Fortinet product, you want to become a expert level certification NSE 8 called NSE 8, then you should have a knowledge of 40 manager, 40 analyzer and all. Okay. And if you want to go for a SOC engineer, right? So where you are going to manage 40 manager, 40 analyzer to segregate the logs and events, right? So 40 SIM, right? Like that, the multiple products are there. So one of the product, you must have a knowledge of these products, 40 manager, 40 analyzer, and FortiGate security, FortiGate firewall. These three products, if you have a knowledge, you'll be you can focus your entire entire career with the Fortinet products itself. Okay, so you can upgrade. So it's optional where how you want to focus your career. Okay, based on that, you are going to entirely switch your career only with the Fortinet product. Then you can go with this learning by this multiple products. Or if your organization needs to learn, ask you to learn this products, then you can go to this products. Okay, so if they're in your organization, they're going to have a product called I mean, if they have a parallel, sorry, FortiGate firewall, obviously they are going to have a 40 manager and 40 analyzers as well. So if it's fully optional to you to enhance your career with this products, okay, so it will helpful to you to go with this product as well. So you don't need to learn everything in simultaneously. Okay, so first complete a firewall domain. I mean, FortiGate firewall. Then go with the FortiGate core examination. After that, you have a 2 years validity for the certification. So to retain your certificate, again, you no need to rewrite the certification with the FortiGate firewall. You can go with the other products, Forti Manager. You will have a 2 years validity after that. After completion of certification in a Forti Manager, then you can go with the Forti Analyzer after 2 years. So totally, you have a 6 years time to write the certification to get FCP certification. So and each and every certification, your profile will be enhanced. So you no need to worry about it. Okay. So the but fundamental is you need to get a certification on the core, so which is called FortiGate Firewall core certification. Okay, so you can go with the network security. The FortiGate Firewall is the core certification for network security and SOC management, SOC network security operations. Okay, so there also it's a FortiGate firewall, FortiGate core examination is must guys. Okay, if you want to become a SOC analyst, SOC specialist, right? So then you must have a knowledge of FortiGate first. It's a core examination. Then other products called FortiSIM, FortiAnalyzer, FortiManager. These kind of products you can focus it. Okay. So these are all the certification track is available in FortiGate, but all for all, it's a core or fundamentalist. You need to get certification on FortiGate administration, which means you are going to learn FortiGate firewall fully first. You need to learn FortiGate firewall. So our curriculum, which fully talk about the FortiGate firewall. Okay. So previously it's known as NSE 4. Now it is called FCP core. Okay. FCP core. You are able to write after completion of this training program, guys. Okay. So these are all the certification. The cost for this FortiGate is almost 400 USD. Such a costliest certification in this Fine Firewall Mastery Program. Okay, so validity is 2 years. So each 400 USD. So core 400 USD. After if you're going for a elective paper, you're selected manager and analyzer as a elective papers. Then for a manager 400 USD, analyzer 400 USD, 1200 USD you have to spend. So all you no need to complete within a span of time. You have a time. First go with the core certification. Then when it is going to expire, that time, in this span of 2 year, you can learn a 40 and a manager, and then next span of 2 years you can go with the 40 analyzer. So you can retain your certification as well, and you will be an expert in this each certification. Okay, so it will be enhance your career, your profile, guys. Okay, so these are all the curriculum we are covering in this 5-in-1 firewall mastery program, guys. Okay, so duration for each firewall is Paloalto itself, it will take in a weekdays we are covering every 1 hour, right? So 5 sessions we are covering, right? So it will take 6 to 8 weeks. So max to max, it will cover, it will take 2 months to complete Palo Alto itself. Okay. And FortiGate, it will take 1 month. Checkpoint, it will take 1 month. Okay. And Cisco ASA and FTD, it will take 1 to 1.5 months. Okay. So 2 plus 4 plus 5.5 months. So max to max, it will take 6 months to complete your entire 5-in-1 firewall mastery program, guys. Since we are going with one by one. Okay. And as I mentioned here, seven, not only the 5 firewalls, along with the two management product. So 7 products you are going to learn. So obviously it will take time. You need patience and you need consistency. Okay, to get knowledge of all these products. Okay, so definitely it will help you in your career breakthrough. It will become your career breakthrough. Okay, so if you're focusing you're right now you're working as a networking under networking domain or server domain, right? So you're looking for career change and you want to go with the network security or cyber security domains, right? So your firewall knowledge is the must having fundamental knowledge to go with your career, network security and cyber security, guys. Okay, so under cyber security you can go with the defensive mechanisms. Okay, so firewall is must having knowledge for the network. Nowadays networking engineers also need a firewall knowledge. Industry demands that. Okay, so and since you are going to have a multiple products knowledge, you will be a good asset to your company. So nowadays employers are looking for the candidates those who can manage multiple products. Okay, because their their clients are going not only going to have only any industry, any organization. They are not all going to have only single firewall. I mean, any one single product like only FortiGate firewall only they are going to have, or Checkpoint firewall only they are not going to have, or Palo Alto firewall. They are going to have a combination of the multiple vendor products until unless they are the vendors, that particular security product vendors. Okay, other organizations, they will use the vendors, they will use their own product, but other organizations, they will use multiple vendor products because they will use different products for the different perspective. Okay, so that and all, day by day you can able to learn in this Pine Firewall Mastery Program why we need to have a knowledge of multiple product and what is the advantage, why they are using in industry, they are using a multiple vendor product. Not only they are not focusing mainly we why they are having a 2 or 3 different vendor products for firewall itself. So that and all you can able to understand day by day by learning each product. Okay, so you no need to worry about this. Okay, so but the having a multiple knowledge product is it's a great breakthrough for your career. Okay, because industry need a people who can able to manage multiple vendor products. Okay, they are not ready to recruit the people who can manage only one product. Okay, so their client, if their client have a multiple products, so for the same process, you if you know only one firewall product, and so they have a three different firewall, their client have a three different firewalls in their environment. So they need to recruit another 2 persons who export on that other two products. Okay, so here unnecessarily they need to recruit 3 people, but the employers are ready to pay the good employee, the knowledge employee, whatever they ask, but they need a people to manage as a single person. You need to manage, you need to have a knowledge of to manage all other 3 products as well, so that you can able to suit their product, their environment and any circumstance. So they will consider like you only. If they consider you like that only, so you'll become a one of the asset to their company. So obviously, industry need the people like that. Okay, so you no need to worry about it. You definitely will get a lot of chances in this firewall product list. Okay, not only the employment, so you'll become in future, you'll get a lot of official I mean promotions or a lot of company your company activities. You are going to handle a lot of things. So as a administrator, as a management level, okay, not only the entry level employee or professional level employee, you will there is a chance to become a management level employee. Okay, when it comes to the technical management. Okay, so okay guys, that's all about the or fine on firewall mastery program, whatever the product we are going to cover and what are the certification you are eligible to write after completion of this certification program. Okay. So as I mentioned, we are going to start with FortiGate is the first firewall. So in this FortiGate firewall, okay, so the to become a Fortinet FC Core X certified professional, right? FCP professional certification in a FortiGate core certification, which means FortiGate firewall, you must have a knowledge of two papers as just like a Palo Alto. They need to you need to learn to EDU 210, EDU 220 like that. In FortiGate, you need to learn these two papers. If you get trained on Fortinet itself, they will cover these two papers. One is called FortiGate security, another one is called FortiGate infrastructure. Okay. So these are curriculum which include both these papers. Okay. So let me discuss about our curriculum in a FortiGate firewall first. So other fire if you we in a demo itself we already discussed about the other firewall curriculum, and I have shared this curriculum document for your reference, whatever the uh, topics we are going to cover, whatever the content we are going to cover in this fine on firewall mastery program. So hope you guys are gone through that. So now since this batch we are going to start with FortiGate firewall, so I want to discuss with you guys with the deepest in course curriculum discussion. Okay, so in FortiGate, as I mentioned, there are two paper, right? FortiGate security and FortiGate manager, right? Sorry, FortiGate infrastructure, right? So these 14 modules, each models, okay, these 14 models covered FortiGate security paper content and FortiGate infrastructure paper content as well. Okay, so as a first model, security, because FortiGate security platform and overview. Here we are going to learn FortiGate. What is FortiGate? We are going to discuss about the Fortinet portfolio, which we are going to discuss tomorrow. Okay. So what is sorry, tomorrow it's an introduction to the firewall. So as a first session, you are going to have a knowledge what is firewall. If you guys are beginner to the network security domain, right? So you are not aware the firewall concepts. So here you are going to learn what is firewall, what are the type of firewall we have, what type of deployment we are using in each firewalls, right? So what is the use case of each and every deployment? So that and all, what is the use case of what is the advanced firewall product, and what what is the which is the best implementation, that and all we'll discuss under introduction to the firewall concepts. Okay, and then uh, day after tomorrow, introduction to the Fortinet. So what is Fortinet brand and what are all the products they have, right? So what is that? What is the advantage, or why they become a market leader, right? So that use case and case studies and all we will discuss to day after tomorrow under module one. And then module one also talk about the initial configuration. When you're getting a fresh FortiGate firewall very first time, it's a fresh firewall, right? So how to configure that first initial configuration, how to take a console of your FortiGate firewall very first time, and what are the default setups and how to access it, right? That and all we'll discuss under initial configuration. And then after access your FortiGate firewall very first time, before deploy your FortiGate firewall into the live production network, what are all the activities we need to do it in your FortiGate firewall? How to register your FortiGate firewall for the Fortinet tag account for the feature in future? Any support you need from the Fortinet customer care, right? Fortinet tag, right? So how to get the support, how to raise the ticket to get the support, how to any hardware related issues happen, how to contact the hardware related team, right? Any replacement, any warranty you have, and if you want to use that warranties or replacements kind of things, how to approach them, and how to manage your licenses of each products. Okay, so that and all we'll discuss under for module number one, which is talk about FortiGate security platform overview, guys. Okay, and along with that, we'll discuss about the Fortinet module, FortiGate firewall data sheets. We'll discuss about the FortiGate firewall data sheets, like what are the hardware model we have, what are the virtual machine VM models we have in a FortiGate firewalls, right? So that and all we'll discuss under module one. Okay, so it will take 3 to 5 sessions to complete your module one itself. Okay, your and then module two, which is talk about FortiGate device management. After access your FortiGate firewall very first time, after register your products into the Fortinet tag account. So as an administrator, before deploy that product into the live production network, what are the basic configuration you must configure, and what are the privileges if in your production network you have a under firewall management team, administration team, or deployment team. It depends on the organization, right? So the different type of level of team they will have. So who are all going to access your FortiGate firewall for the administration? So like creating a policy and objects and our monitoring purpose. Our SOC team will access your FortiGate firewall to segregate and to monitor the logs, right? And then deployment team will access your FortiGate firewall for to complete their day-to-day activities, like by taking a backup or creating a policy and objects, enabling some services, right? For that activities, different type of mem- team members within your team members, multiple administrators will try to access, or multiple team members also they want to access your FortiGate firewall for the better administration purpose. Okay, and so in that case, for each and every administrator, how to provide the console, any restriction we need to provide, what are the type of predefined restrictions or predefined roles are we have, how to create a customized console for the each and every administrator, right? So that and all you are going to learn under FortiGate device management, and how to take a backup and restore, right? FortiGate firewall, how to automate the backup process, right? How that and all we you are going to learn under device management, guys. Okay, which is module two. Okay, module three, how to create a security policies. What are all the security policy? What are the type of security policy we have? How to validate the duplicacies, and how to create a best security policies, and right, and along with the next generation firewall features, right? So that and all we'll discuss under module three. What are the predefined rules are there? What is implicit rule? What is explicit rule? How to create a customized rule, right? So that and all we'll discuss under module three. And module four, it's talk about the network address translation. What are the type of in FortiGate firewall we have, there are two type of translation only: source address translation and destination address translation. So here we have these address translation. We will do it in a different type of implementation: static NAT, dynamic NAT, PAT, like that, right? In FortiGate firewall, so this NATs we call it as a these two these type of NATs we can implement in a different way. Okay, remain they call it as a in Fortinet they call it as a policy based NAT. The source NAT you can able to implement in a policy based NAT, and then central SNAT. So right now you will not able to understand what is policy based NAT and central SNAT. Just leave it. while going to the particular topic, at that time I'll explain you in a deeper way. So the same source net and destination net. Okay, this policy based net and central net, it's for source net. In destination net, in Fortinet, we call it as a virtual IP. Virtual IP. Okay, so what is virtual IP and how to create a virtual IP groups, and what is policy based net, what is centralized net, and even if you're not aware what is source net and destination net, that is also fine. I'll explain what is source net and when we have to implement source net and when we have to implement destination net. So what is port mapping, what is port forwarding, right? Everything we'll discuss under this net address translation. Okay. So network address translation, NAT, okay, which is called module 4. And module 5, firewall authentication. So here you are going to do user authentication, captive portal, and then so in your organization you have a multiple team, right? So each team, they need a different type of access. Let's say in your organization, management team is there, like HR, and then finance, and so management team, so and then finance related team, and then sales, technical, right, or support. Based on your product and project, different kind of team that you have, right? So these different kind of team people, they need a different kind of access. Let's say support team, I'm let's assume that I'm working under a product based company and they have a their customer care, right? So this is a support team. For that, whatever the, for as a customer care team, they need to receive their user mails and then calls, right? So for them, I need to allow them to access the mails and then calls, and then some in some documents or some applications to retrieve the mails, right? And then as a employee, they need to access the employee portal. So for them, I need to provide a different kind of access since they are belongs to support team. The same way, development team might be there. A sales team, they need a different set of access. They sales team, they need a social media access to promote their product. Sales team and marketing team promote their product and manage their leads, right? So different kind of application and software. Service access they need. Okay, so by using this user identification, user based access privilege, I'm going to provide the access to the internal employees based on their job nature, based on their job need, whatever the application and services they need, that only I'm going to allow for them. So so that I need to identify them. If he belongs to sales team, I'm going to provide a set of application access. And he belongs to some financial or management team, he is going to access the management related applications like uh, okay. Sorry guys. So I'm going to allow them to the that particular different kind of application whatever they need. If he belongs to support team, I need to allow them to access the support related application and services in our production network, right? So in that case, I all these employees are sitting under the one, right, one location. Let's say I have 100 pieces in my organization in that particular branch. So 10 peoples from management team, 10 peoples from sales team, 10 peoples from support team, all these peoples are logged in the same LAN subnet. Okay, same office only, office environment only they have same, and they are all logged in under same subnet. Okay, so in that case, I need to provide them a different kind of access line. So that is possible only based on the this concept called user identification or user authentication. Your firewall will authenticate the user. He belongs to which group, which team. If he belongs to so and so group and team, what kind of application and services we need to allow or we need to deny, that can be decided by your firewall by this concept, user identification. And okay, so one type. So where you are going to integrate your your FortiGate firewall with the Windows server, Active Directory server, and then one more concept is called captive portal. where user is trying to access the internet. That time user manually they need to mention their user credential, username and password. After that only they will able to access the internet services, web related services. So this concept is called captive portal. So for this is also comes under the user identification, guys. Okay. And this is all are will cover under module 5. In module 6, it's talk about next generation firewall features, where your firewall is going to capable to identify the virus, malware, spyware, right? So that and all, and any intrusion, any network type of attacks, so that and all can be identified, and any type of applications, right? Any data leakages, any websites, URL, right? So that can be identified by the help of these all the next generation by the help of web filtering. It can able to identify the websites and web applications. Okay, and then URLs can be identified, and any specific URL or group of category based URLs. Let's say I want to block all gaming related websites, then I can go with the category based filter. So that is achievable. The same way, and application control, I want to block not only website, I want to block entire applications, social networking applications or financial related application, like that category based application or any specific application. So that is also achievable by the help of application control. Okay. So under module 6, we'll discuss application control and IPS activities, like which can do deep inspect and identify the virus, malware, spyware, and intrusions. Okay. So that can be identified by the your IPS. Okay. So antivirus profile separately we have how to enable antivirus profile in your FortiGate firewall, how to do deep inspects against the virus, malware, spyware, everything you'll see under module 6. And along with how to detect the specific, identify the specific application and control the specific application and micro application. Let's say I want to allow Facebook application in my production network for my all LAN users. Okay. Facebook, it's a not a single application. It's a collaborated with multiple micro application. So I want to allow Facebook file sharing application or Facebook timeline. Let's say it's a timeline, right? Facebook timeline. I want to allow my internal users to post the application, any content in a Facebook. But Facebook also have a chat, Facebook chat. I want to deny Facebook chat. When my internal users are trying to use Facebook chat in their office environment, office timing, I want to block. I want to allow Facebook, but inside the Facebook chat, call, right? So file sharing, these kind of things I want to deny it. In that case, it is achievable by the help of application control in FortiGate firewall. So that and all we will discuss, we'll see under module 6. In module 7, it's talk about, as I mentioned earlier, URL filter. If you want to block any websites, right, or category-based websites, similar type of websites, then you can able to go with the web filtering. And module 8, it's talk about the data leakage protection. So which means in my organization, I have some sensitive information. I don't want to allow external user or internal users steal my organization sensitive information, like any type of about the project information, any type of file. It might contain any type of file and any type of content inside that file, like any specific sensitive information like financial related activities, the credit card information of, if it is a banking related environment. So credit card, debit card, account related information we should, and customer related information we should not uh, leak. I mean, the information should not leak, or the information should not be hacked, right? So for that, we need to use this data leakage protection, not only for the banking, any kind of organization, they have their sensitive information, sensitive data. That data I don't we need to protect, and we don't need to allow the hacker or outside users to steal our internal data. Our internal users also can able to steal that information. So that too we need to protect by the help of data leakage protection. Okay, so this feature will help you to avoid the data theft. Okay, and then that is comes under the module 8. And model 9, it's talk about the high availability redundancy. So there are two type of redundancy support in FortiGate firewall. One is active passive, another one is active active. Both we'll cover in this model. So and model 10, it's talk about the how to enable routing protocols. So here we are not learning of each routing protocol in depth. So here whatever the routing static and dynamic routing protocols is there, so how to enable and how to update the, how to support this routing protocol in your FortiGate firewall, that we are going to see. We are not going to learn dedicated routing protocol deeply. Okay, you are going to learn the base. If you have CCN, under CCNA you have a knowledge of routing, right? So that is that routing, like dynamic routing protocol, OSPF, PGP, these protocols and all, we will implement here. We will not learn deeply. Fundamental, we'll implement that protocol here. Okay, so now under model 10, under model 11, let's talk about the VPN. So IP site to site VPN and SSL VPN, both we will implement in the model 11. And model 12, let's talk about SD-WAN. What is SD-WAN, how to implement SD-WAN, and how to manage multiple WAN links under logical SD-WAN interfaces in FortiGate firewall. How to select the how FortiGate firewall will select the best interfaces based on which category, which priority it is selecting. So that and all we will see under SD-WAN concept. Okay, so and model 13, let's talk about the VDOM, virtual domain concept. So VDOM, it's, if you're, to make you understand simply, I hope everyone has learned. If you have a CCNA knowledge, you must have, or you must hear about this word called VLAN. So what is VLAN? So it's a single switch. It's a single hardware. It's a switch, and I want to deploy with the multiple logical networks, right? So in that case, single network, I'm going to split as a multiple logical network, or single switch. I want to logically split as a different logical switch. In that case, that is called VLAN concept. This concept is called VLAN, right? The same way I can deploy each VLAN, I can deploy the different network, right? So single broadcast domain, I'm dividing multiple broadcast domain, right? So by the concept called VLAN. The same way, single hardware based firewalls, I can able to logically split as a multiple logical firewalls. I can deploy it in a different process. Each logical firewalls I can manage separately, just like VLAN. Okay, this concept is called VDOM in FortiGate firewall, and vSys virtual system in Paloalto firewall. Okay, so we'll discuss under module 13 about what is VDOM, how to create virtual domains, and how to manage, how to add the interfaces inside the VDOM. So that and all we'll discuss under module 13. And model 14, let's talk about the troubleshooting. What is the packet flow of checkpoint, sorry, FortiGate firewall, and how to troubleshoot, and how any protocol wise and configuration wise, both we'll discuss, we'll troubleshoot here, guys. Okay. And then model 15 is talk about the examination preparation. So if you go for a FCP core examination, whatever the model here you are learning, that is fair and abs. So how to prepare for the FCP core certification, that we will discuss under model 15. Okay. So these are all the curriculum which we are covering under FortiGate firewall. So which cover FortiGate infrastructure paper and FortiGate security paper both. Okay. So module 1 to module 8, it's talk about FortiGate security paper. Okay, FortiGate security paper. And module 9, module 10, and under module 11 also, it's a IPsec site to site VPN. Sorry, SSL VPN comes under the FortiGate security paper. IPsec site to site VPN comes under the FortiGate infrastructure paper. Okay, so module 11, Module 10 and Module 11, 50% of the topic comes under the FortiGate security paper. From Module 11 to Module 12, 13, 14, okay, and Module 9. Module 9 comes under the FortiGate infrastructure paper. Okay, clear guys. So both we are included here. So you are able to, after learning this FortiGate in this curriculum, you are eligible to write FCP certification, guys. Okay. Module 13, yeah, just a minute. Mohammed. Module 13. It's a virtual domain. VDO. That is comes under the FortiGate infrastructure. Infra paper. Okay. So VDOM, it's nothing. It's a logical splitation of your physical firewall. Single physical firewall you can split as a multiple logical firewalls in simple term. Okay. This is called virtual domain. Okay, yes. So these are all the curriculum we are going to cover under in FortiGate firewall. This tomorrow we'll start with the FortiGate security platform. I mean, introduction to the firewall, and day after tomorrow, we'll go with the introduction to the Fortinet, and we'll start the initial configuration. Okay.